This morning, the cleanup began for residents, businesses, and city officials in Fort St. John. Hit hard by rain, hail, gusty winds, and lightning, the wild weather knocked out power across the region. Environment Canada says it wasn't a particularly severe storm.
And this disturbance is a little upper low, or just a type of thing that is crossing the south piece right now. And as it did yesterday in the afternoon, it set off some thunderstorms that gave us wind gusts to maybe 50 or 60 kilometers per hour at the stations that I can see. There was some small hail reported. We had about 7 millimeters of rain at the airport in Fort St. John. And so certainly it was a decent thunderstorm, but as far as I can see in the reports I've received, not a severe storm, but certainly a good summertime thunderstorm.
Lundquist says rain did fall quickly, and that sent water and sewage spilling across the streets and into buildings. Several businesses and homes were flooded, like this one on 93rd Avenue, just west of 100th Street.
Well, with 3 feet of water, there's not a wall left. The water was higher than the toilet in the bathroom, so we're looking at a pile of cleanup, a pile of expense, and the business that we were going to open obviously won't be opening now. At least not anytime soon. It's been quite a big setback.
Horst says the city should have done more to prevent the flash flood.
I think the city has a responsibility to make sure that the drains are cleaned out in the beginning of the spring. That's part of public works. That's what we pay taxes for. We pay a large tax bill here at this shop, but we don't seem to get anything back from the city for it.
Within a half hour of the storm hitting the city, crews were out in force trying to restore order in the energetic city. This morning, Mayor Bruce Lance and City Manager Diane Hunter met to discuss the ongoing cleanup effort. Overall, they're pleased with the efforts from city staff and residents.
Well, I think this was an event that took a lot of people by surprise, obviously. When you have something like this happen, it happens maybe once every 100 years. It's hard to prepare for something like that, whether you're an individual homeowner or local government. We know that there were catastrophic effects on some homes and businesses in the area, but I have to say that I'm pretty impressed with the way Fort St. John responded to this event.
The Public Works crew certainly responded immediately and appropriately to the events of last night. Our first priority, of course, is protection of persons and property. One of the biggest challenges we had last night was just traffic control. We had a lot of vehicles going down streets that were heavily flooded, and so a lot of our crews were directly involved in putting up barricades, trying to stop traffic, trying to reroute traffic. So that was a challenge for us.
The city credits residents for also stepping in to help, but at the same time, those who chose to speed through flooded roads and parking lots created a problem for some businesses. Totem Mall experienced some flooding as a result of trucks splashing through their lot. The worst flooding was in Aurora Cinema, where 3 of the theaters were under 3 feet of water.
It really did cause us a lot of problems. For one thing, the water is or potentially was contaminated with sewage. There was a potential of electricity getting in, causing some problems there. The mall itself, the water didn't get high enough to inundate the mall. Unfortunately, when the people were racing into there is when the water created waves that crashed into the building, and that's where, for the rest of the stores, most of the problem came from.
With flooding in the streets, BC Hydro crews had to work furiously into the morning to restore power to close to 6,000 homes and businesses in Fort St. John and Dawson Creek.
During the 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock hour last night, we had over 5,500 customers out in Fort St. John and area, another 300 plus in Dawson Creek as well. We had crews working throughout the night to restore power. In fact, the ones who had worked through the night just got off at 10:30 this morning. We do have some fresh bodies joining the restoration effort, and we really are in the mop-up stage now, just a handful of customers still needing restoration.
The city will continue to monitor the situation, and Public Works will see what kind of long-term damage may still develop.
That volume of water going through, it does undermine pavement, or it can undermine pavement. Some of the crack sealing that we've had done, it looks like it has popped out, and so the water would have got into those cracks, so we'll be monitoring the condition of the asphalt. We had some culverts that with grates over them, and the grates are primarily there to protect the public from entering those culverts, but they also, in this event, also stop some of the debris from going through. So then the debris piled up, which meant then there was, water wasn't flowing through as smoothly as what we'd like. So we're going to be taking a look at some of those culverts, how we could either resize them or think of a system that would allow some of that water to go through much quicker.
As for those who were impacted, Mayor Lance says the city will do what it can to help.
It's like this. Usually you will have people inquiring of the city whether the city will cover their costs or will the city help in some fashion. We take that on a case-by-case basis, and we have our municipal insurers, of course, that are available for that type of thing. It really depends on how the insurance industry views something like this, but our staff have already been briefed that they can expect a significant number of phone calls from people, maybe just people with questions about what should I be doing and what can I do, and we're certainly prepared to help them with that.
Those who were hit hard will look to clean up, and they'll hope this is an event that occurs only every 100 years. Federico Cahis in Fort St. John for Around the Peace.